Jacob and Niccolo wandered the city for what felt like 3 hours before finding an old stone church that seemed in disrepair. Normally this wouldn't have bothered them much, but the church had markings all around the outside depicting a symbol of the wind, another showing what appeared to be an ocarina, and the last depicting a strange creature that looked somewhat like a wolf, but also somewhat like a bird. They couldn't be sure if the church had any significance to the wolf creatures at all, but something about it drew them to it. Upon walking inside, they found the prayer hall barren save a few narrow benches, one of which was broken and toppled over. The center had a long, light green carpet lining the hallway between the benches, with candles atop small standing sconces with flickering, dimly lit flames dancing atop them. The real centerpiece of the church caught their attention immediately once they noticed it. At the back of the hall, beyond a simple podium and the old priest, was a massive stained glass window that depicted a mythical creature. It appeared like a white wolf that stood proud and howled toward the moon, but it sported 4 huge pairs of feathery white wings spread high behind it. It was wearing a prayer bead necklace that had a glowing, 4-pointed, star-shaped green gem hanging from it, and it had odd green markings lining its body that accentuated its wolf-like features. Niccolo's eyes were glued to the stained glass as he started walking inside. Jacob followed after him quickly, and the two approached the old priest together. He was an old, wrinkled, stooped man with a large white hat, flowing white robes, and a large wooden staff that seemed like little more than an oversized walking stick. "Hello, Father. Tell me, what is the creature depicted in that glasswork?" Niccolo asked, getting straight to the point. The old priest slowly started raising his hand. Jacob and Niccolo waited patiently to see what he would say. He raised his hand as high as he could, then brought it to his ear. "What was that? Speak up, sonny," the priest asked, making Jacob smile to himself, reminded of an old friend he was fond of. "Oh, forgive me," Niccolo said at his normal volume as he drew closer. "Father, please tell me about that majestic creature," he practically shouted. "Oh, someone coming to hear the tale of the legendary Caprit. Warms my old bones. Come and sit with me, boys. I'll tell you an old story," the priest said. Jacob and Niccolo did as they were bid and followed the old priest to a simple wooden chair where he took his time getting comfortable. Niccolo pulled up a chair, but Jacob just sat down on the floor and crossed his legs. "Long ago, right here in our beautiful city of Sofia, there was an ancient demon stalking the lands. Some called it a god, but it was a monster born of malice and greed, and it rampaged across the lands without prejudice. One fateful day, the angry creature stumbled upon our humble town and began wreaking havoc, ripping apart buildings, killing without hesitation, and devouring the corpses of those it had mutilated. Worse yet, back in those times our town was still young. We hadn't established a proper royal guard and didn't have many defenders, so it was nearly impossible for us to get organized and do anything about it. There was one woman who did take a stand, though. Although her name was lost to time, it said that she was missing her right arm and wielded a heart purer than gold. She attempted to battle the beast, but she was quickly cut down, as were the few others at her side. But, with her last breath, she pulled out a crystal ocarina and began to play. For an unknown reason, the beast shrieked and fled, wailing like the music was frightening it. But in its place came something new. From the high tower in the fallen city of Paramon came the guardian creature you see depicted in the glass behind me, Caprit. Caprit arrived after having heard the sound of her whistling call, and she carried her off somewhere between her teeth. Everyone was dumbstruck when she returned in the morning. Her mortal wounds had healed, and she told everyone that the monstrous demon was sure to return that evening. Many people fled, but some stayed and listened to her plan. When the night fell once more, the creature returned as she predicted. She happened to be on the other side of the city and called Caprit with her ocarina, and luckily she was far enough away that her call didn't scare off the creature. Caprit arrived and helped box the creature away, battling it until it was defeated and destroyed. That is how Caprit came to be known as the guardian of our town. The young woman never returned, but once we were sure the danger was gone, we erected this church to give thanks to Caprit and offer him our prayers, the old priest told.